Hello again, YouTubers, I'm SpongeBob11 back here again on the SpongeBob channel. Today is January 29th, 2023, and we have another SpongeBob news video. This is going to focus exclusively on the SpongeBob Cosmic Shake video game, which is slated for release on Tuesday, January 31st. And I want to bring you guys over to NintendoEverything.com today to show you guys this interview that the writers of the website did with Purple Lamp, which are the developers of SpongeBob Cosmic Shake. So you can see here the title says, the Cosmic Shake developers on origins, gameplay, Switch version, and more. Without further ado, let's start with the first question here. What led to this opportunity to build something totally new for the SpongeBob franchise? And they do reference the overwhelming success of Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated. If you remember, I think it sold like 2 million copies or more, which is really successful for a game that has the SpongeBob IP on it. So there was support from Nickelodeon, THQ Nordic, and of course fans. So next question, did the team feel any pressure to get the game right given how long it's been since the last brand new SpongeBob 3D platformer? For context, the last brand new platformer was SpongeBob Hero Pants in a sense, and that was back in 2015. So let's see what they say here. So it says, of course we did, but we would always refer to it as positive pressure. So they talk about working on a big IP means a lot of responsibility and respecting the source material. And I think actually they did a lot of fan service in this game. And when we do the playthrough, you will see exactly what I mean, because I'll be pointing all of that out. Battle for Bikini Bottom is regarded by most players to be the best SpongeBob game ever created. Honestly, I actually differ from that opinion, but okay. So we knew that the expectations would be sky high, but we also learned a lot from creating Rehydrated. And if you think about it, it was kind of like the 20th anniversary bonus plus like giving Purple Lamp the chance to see if they're going to succeed. And of course, in terms of remaking that game, they did a fairly good job, except for the multiplayer. And having the original voice cast and music from the show, working closely with the writers from Nickelodeon and using tons of source material and references were only some of the pillars we based our design on. We are, of course, especially proud that we were given the opportunity to add new elements and characters to this very special franchise. And in terms of adding new elements and characters, I think so far from the footage that I've seen, it looks really good, and the characters are variations of existing characters for the most part, so I will see more of that in the playthrough. And next question, what did Purple Lamp take away from working on Rehydrated? What sorts of lessons were learned? So again, they talk about the beloved IP and fans that care about it. This is a nicer way of saying, yeah, we know a lot of people criticized it in the beginning portion, right? So it does say Battle for Bikini Bottom really makes people feel like they're playing multiple SpongeBob episodes. And to a certain extent, yes, that is true, but it's also like a giant cohesive story with different areas, so it's not so much of episodes. But they wanted to double down on that feeling. Now, one thing I do have to say about Cosmic Shake is that it does flow from beginning to end, so it is not as segmented as you might think it is. So blah blah blah, feedback, and okay, focus on fan service, yep, fun interactions, and fluid platforming. I think all three of which were very well done in this game, and also gave every enemy a unique personality and charming animations, much like in Battle for Bikini Bottom. I would say actually better than in Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated. Next question, how did you go about choosing the themes/locations for each of the game's worlds? And were there any ideas that didn't make the cut? Okay, so they talk about Cosmic Shake being a spiritual successor of Rehydrated, and they did kind of reuse certain locations, of course, Jellyfish Fields, Kelp Forest, and they talk about doing the themed Wish Worlds, with episodes still being a huge inspiration. So they do not say whether there were any levels that were cut. I don't think they should, because they definitely want to keep that in the bag just in case they want to make a new game, or if they are actually going to go do DLC for this, which by the way is not a thing for now, but you know, we'll see. How open are the various worlds in the game, and how much exploration can players expect? Overall levels are similar in size as levels in Rehydrated. More story moments, cinematic cutscenes, a lot of them actually, or or very good quality cutscenes at least, side quests to the game. There's a lot more revisiting challenges and missions in the Cosmic Shake, and abilities that you unlock later give you access to new activities in earlier levels. So you can explore every nook and cranny of the game world to find all golden doubloons, which is like sort of Patrick's socks in a sense. I'm not sure if the socks are in the game, I have to double check, but yeah, that's another collectible. And unlock the more than 30 costumes available in the game. Now, of course, the costume DLC pack is a separate thing altogether. Which Wish World are you proud of the most? And if you could add another Wish World to the game, what would it be? So this is kind of linking to the, was there anything cut, you know? So they talk about prehistoric kelp forests. Yeah, I mean, it looks good, but I think the Karate Downtown Bikini Bottom looks really, really detailed. And on that basis, I think that so far is my favorite. If I personally could do another Wish World, it would probably be one focused on Plankton, as he's my favorite character, maybe with Vikings. Always good to have a couple of Olafs, right? So yeah, reference to the episode. Has the platforming changed at all since Rehydrated? What new mechanics will players encounter? So Rehydrated had a slower pacing and a bigger focus on timing your jumps perfectly. True, I had a lot of trouble in that game for that. But Cosmic Shape is faster paced, more story driven game, and allows you to combine the various skills in the best way. So one thing to note, not only is it single player, you can only play as SpongeBob, so there's no Patrick main player or anything like that, but a lot of variety in terms of the moves, and some of which I actually think are super duper creative and are quite funny to watch actually. I mean, the concept itself is quite hilarious. In total, we have 10 different skills that SpongeBob can learn and use. Of course, we got a karate kick, the bubble surfboard, and the pizza box glide. How has it been developing for the Switch? Has a final frame rate and resolution been determined? 30 frames per second is what is going to be happening with the game containing so many throwbacks to classic episodes. What are some of the brand new story elements or environments that players will experience? So, of course, Madame Cassandra is brand new, and she's probably the only main character that's being introduced here. So yeah, are there any plans for post-launch content, either in the form of updates or DLC? Of course, they will say there is nothing, so they don't want to create expectations that they cannot fulfill in the end. We will, of course, continue to improve the game based on feedback from the fans, and if players miss the chance to grab the costume pack DLC as pre-order bonus, they can still buy it after release, which is $9.99 in US dollars. So last question here, Purple Lamp has made 2 SpongeBob games in a few years. Do you feel like there's still more room in the tank for the studio to continue working with the IP? Does the team have interest in developing more games based on the franchise? So looking back, I think the main developers of the SpongeBob games not only were Heavy Iron, but also Blitz Games, or whoever developed Atlantis Scorpantis, Boating Bash, Creature on a Krusty Krab, right? So Underpants Slam. So those games, I believe, were all by the same developer. Maybe not Boating Bash, but the first 2006 to 2008 games. Could Purple Lamp be like that? Possible. It says, we live and breathe SpongeBob at Purple Lamp, and we still have so many ideas we would love to bring to life in future SpongeBob games. We hope players will have as much fun playing as we had making this new and exciting installment to the series, and that we will continue this journey together for many years and games to come. So yeah, that was the interview with the developers of SpongeBob Cosmic Shake Purple Lamp. We're just a couple days away from launch. I'm really excited to start playing it on live stream, so make sure to come by for that. We'll have plenty of Cosmic Shake content coming in this coming week, so make sure to stay tuned, subscribe if you haven't liked, and I'll see you guys in the next SpongeBob video. Till then, bye!